When an introvert is alone, what happens inside is often misunderstood from the outside. Solitude is frequently seen as isolation, or as a sign that something is missing. But for many introverts, being alone is when their inner world finally has enough space to breathe. It is not an escape from life, but a return to it in a quieter form. When external demands soften, the mind begins to move at its natural pace, and thoughts that were waiting patiently during the day start to surface without pressure. In these moments alone, introverts often replay interactions, not out of regret or worry, but out of a need to understand. Conversations are reviewed gently, emotions are revisited, and small details that were unnoticed at the time begin to make sense. This process is calm and internal, not urgent. It is how meaning is formed, how experiences are placed into context, and how emotional clarity slowly develops. While it may look like nothing is happening, the inner world is quietly active. Emotions, especially, tend to reveal themselves more clearly in solitude. Introverts may feel things deeply throughout the day, but those feelings are often held back until there is privacy to explore them fully. When alone, there is no need to manage expressions or responses. Feelings can exist without explanation. Joy, disappointment, relief, or confusion can be acknowledged honestly, without being shaped for anyone else. This quiet emotional processing helps introverts stay balanced and grounded, even if it takes time. Being misunderstood is something that often comes to mind during these solitary moments. Introverts are aware that their silence is sometimes misread, and when alone, they may reflect on how they are perceived versus how they actually feel. This reflection is not about blaming others or feeling wronged, but about making sense of the gap between inner experience and outward expression. Over time, many introverts learn that not everyone will understand their way of being, and that this does not invalidate it. There is also a sense of relief that comes with being alone. The constant need to respond, react, or be available fades, and energy begins to settle. For introverts, social interaction often requires careful attention and emotional presence, which can be quietly draining even when it is enjoyable. Solitude allows that energy to return naturally. Thoughts slow down, the body relaxes, and the mind no longer feels pulled in multiple directions at once. Creativity and insight often appear in these quiet spaces as well. Without interruption, introverts can connect ideas, reflect on personal interests, or simply let the mind wander without a goal. This is not always productive in an obvious way, but it is nourishing. It supports a sense of identity that is internal rather than performance-based. Alone time allows introverts to reconnect with who they are beneath roles and expectations. There is also strength that develops in solitude. Over time, introverts learn to trust their inner voice because they spend so much time listening to it. Decisions are often made internally before being shared, and values are clarified privately before being expressed. This creates a quiet confidence that does not rely on external validation. It is not loud or assertive, but it is steady and reliable. Calm acceptance often grows here as well. Being alone provides space to accept oneself without comparison. Introverts begin to recognize that needing quiet does not mean they are lacking, and that enjoying solitude does not mean they are disconnected. It simply means their relationship with the world is filtered through reflection and inner awareness. This acceptance reduces the pressure to change or explain, and replaces it with self-understanding. When introverts are alone, they are not withdrawing from life. They are processing it. They are restoring balance, making sense of experiences, and caring for their emotional well-being in a way that feels natural to them. Solitude is where they recalibrate, where they feel most aligned with themselves, and where their inner world is given the respect it needs. In the end, what goes on in an introvert's mind when they are alone is not emptiness or avoidance. It is attention, reflection, emotional honesty, and quiet strength. It is a space where thoughts are allowed to unfold gently, where feelings are met without judgment, and where acceptance grows without effort. And when introverts return from these moments of solitude, they often do so with more clarity, more calm, and a deeper sense of connection to both themselves and the world around them.